Okay, here's a quick review through my own portfolio. You're going to get to see under the covers at a high level today. I will be happy to answer your questions. There's so much to go through. I'm going to try to give you the high level overview. And when you have questions, or if you'd like to chat about certain things, how I accomplished them, or how you might do something similar, I would be happy to do so. Just give me a comment below and I will respond personally to you, and we can either converse in the comments or we can get on a Zoom call and talk about your goals. So I currently have 5 buy and hold buildings. I'm sorry, I have 7 buy and hold buildings. Here's 2 down here. These are the 2 that are my active, or these are the 5 that I consider my active portfolio. These down here that are marked short-term rentals are part home for me, and they are money-making homes, but their primary focus is being a first or second residence. Um, in this portfolio, they are ordered in the order that I purchased them. And if you have questions about my calculations over here in these columns, I did provide another video earlier that will explain what I'm doing in those columns. So for now, I'm going to remain focused on the portfolio, how I built it, and how I review it. So each of these are 4 family buildings. The first one is in the Shaw neighborhood. Second 2 are in Dutchtown. Those are the Alaska buildings. The Minnesota building is in the Mount Pleasant neighborhood. And the Virginia building is in the Graveway Park neighborhood. So neighborhood quality, I would consider Shaw these days to be about an A minus, with the remainder of these being strong, solid C neighborhoods. Maybe with the specific locations on Alaska being a little bit more C plus, and these being a middle C to maybe C minus. In any case, each of these was purchased at a value add rate, and then improved sometimes immediately and sometimes over time. And I'm going to tell you how that works. So with Shaw, I purchased it in 2012 for $104,000. That was my first building. I had a friend who was doing something similar, and I asked him to mentor me through my first building. He also was a contractor, and he renovated the majority of this building to take it from, it was a short sale and in livable but kind of yucky conditions. So we put a new roof, we put new windows, we cosmetically renovated 2 of the units because they were unoccupied. Then later, with my new contractor, I renovated the other 2 units. My down payment was $26,000. I'm today all in cash and debt at this one, $254. So you can see when I purchased it, these were $500 a month units. I think I didn't mention that I also replaced all of the HVAC, and along the time we did some sewer work and then also did a roof renovation about 8 or 9 years after the original roof replacement. So it is producing very well. I do not have a mortgage on this building, but I do have a line of credit, and I use that line of credit to work on this building down here, which is not currently in production, but will become my own personal residence in the future. So that's not how much I owe monthly, but I just pay $1,000 a month to take off some of the principal. It's an interest-only line of credit. My real estate taxes here, you can see all the columns. It's 261, insurance premium 145. These are all my monthly fixed expenses. The exception to fixed expenses here on Alaska, because that's currently where I'm living, I pay for internet, gas, and electric in my own apartment, which I rent when I am not present to traveling nurses on a month-to-month basis. My annual gross income is 32,400 on the building that I live in. And so that means assuming that I pay 650 a month, or if I weren't there, somebody would pay 650 a month. The tenants do make up that money right now. So next thing to look at is So all of these buildings have been similar. They all have some degree of new kitchens, with Alaska and Virginia being the lowest quality. Virginia has two updated, two not currently. They've been updated, but not brand new stuff in them. Alaska number two is all new stuff. Alaska number one, I was very conservative, and so it has mostly new stuff, but it was entry level type of contractor grade finishes. So we look at here, we can look at, first of all, the gross income annually for each building. You'll see they're somewhat similar, but I've definitely got some star performers. My net operating income here, and then my cash flow with each building after my mortgage. So I do not include my mortgage payments in my net operating income, because somebody who purchased it otherwise would not have that. Or if I pay off a mortgage, this is what I could stand to be seeing. My cap rate. So this column is my cap rate. And so I'm getting a pretty good return because I bought very low, renovated conservatively, and at a good price. And this is what I'm earning on my total investment here. And then this column is basically what I'm earning on the cash that I invested. Here's my per unit cost. Again, that's not the purchase price, it's the per unit cost for me. These would be much higher because they are completely renovated property at their ARV. So the after repair value is in this column. So if I were to sell them, this is where I believe I could sell them. Not to skip around, but this is where the new owner, or I'm sorry, this is my interest rate. But this is where a new owner would be seeing their cap rate at this purchase price. So I also have my loan balances here, and I have rough profit if I were to sell the building. That does not include paying off the loan. So I have included paying off the loan here in this column. Why do I do all this? Because if I were going to sell at, I want to know how much cash I'm going to get at close, because I'm going to decide between a 1031 exchange or if I'm going to do something else with that building. So I also may or may not pay myself commissions. It's a game time decision for me. If I sell it to my own buyer, which I have a long list of buyers, as my client list is primarily multifamily buy and hold or selling clients. So if I did conduct the sale all on my own off market, I could choose to take this commission or leave it in the sale. Um, Here I've captured my potential capital gains. Again, everything I do is rough. I'm not trying to be super exact. I'll leave that to my fabulous accountant. And then finally, if I did go to a 1031 exchange, this is the cash that would go into that exchange. I don't believe I am reducing the, yeah, I am. I'm taking the commission out of that. So assuming that I did it with commission, if I didn't do it with commission, then I'd have more to put into my exchange. So I'd have to make that decision before I got into my exchange. And then here I just do a quick calculation, because if you're doing an exchange, you have to roll forward the percentage of debt. So this is the amount of debt that I would have to have in order to go forward in exchange. That is my portfolio. If we go over here real quickly, I may have to update this as we go. But so these are my two homes, right? This one again is 2 units, and it's in Puerto Rico. You can see that I bought it for a pretty good price. It was right after Hurricane Maria, and they are not long-term rented or permanently rented. In any case, they are short-term rentals. So on these, I just move right to the gross intended annual income, and you'll see that I have full expenses here because I'm running internet, electric, and gas, and any TV charges at these properties individually. My goal with them is really just to have each of them pay their own bills. I don't like to have assets that do not bring money to the table, at least to cover their own bills. And you can see I'm doing pretty good. This $19,000 is a rough actual number for 2022 between January and September of 2022. And basically, after the expenses, looks like I've got about $9,000. Probably not included in here is a $15,000 solar panel system that I put in. Let's just look and see. You can watch me update that right here. See, I'm putting that in, plus it was a $15,000 purchase, right? So that was a capital expenditure. Um, and so it did not take that out of my net operating income. This is my cash flow after my mortgage because I don't have a mortgage here. And I probably got to look at this because I've got a negative 442. Maybe that's because I'm spending so much money this year. This is my cash on cash return at 8%. So I'm able to live in this property part of the year and still make 8%. It's about $208,000 cost total, so 100 per unit. And I think if I were to sell it, I might sell it around $300,000 to $400,000. There are 2 additional acres that are not considered part of the primary residence, and so I wouldn't consider selling it. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Um, and then this home here is a tiny home that will serve as a month-to-month rental for traveling nurses and doctors or other professionals. Right now, I've chosen to make it my own. I did buy it a couple of years ago in an exchange, and I am renovating it to my own taste, but with the intention of it being an income-producing property, and for me to be able to reside in it part of the year as well. I'm projecting $15,000 a year. That's 6 months out of the year. It should earn about $2,500 per month. And then it should pay me a little bit of money as well. So that is my portfolio. Probably in another video, I'll give you an idea of what I might do, what it would look like if I sold my own portfolio, so you could see how you can magnify your income by capitalizing on your appreciation and your hard work. Have a great day. I apologize for any background noise. I am in a public place. I promised raw shooting from the hip videos, and that is what you are getting. So please do comment below. I will respond to you personally. I want to hear your questions. You'll help me make my videos better, and I'll get you any information that I left out that you would find valuable. Have a great day.